past 6 volts, button 1000, 200 now.
Hello there, friends and followers, and welcome to this live stream. This is Q8Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today we are going to be reviewing SkyMaxx Pro version 5. Now, there are 5 updates that has already been released for SkyMaxx Pro. I have been a user of SkyMaxx Pro for the longest time, I believe ever since it was released for X-Plane. Before we begin, I do want to say hello to everyone who's joined us here on the stream tonight. And it is night here, of course, in Kuwait Leaf. Hello there, my friend. We've got Gulshan Kumar. Hello there. Simlog TV. Canada for X-Plane. Hey there. How are you doing? We've got Dave. Dave is probably not going to watch. He's going to probably watch the replay. But thanks for stopping by. Fly 320. Hello there, my friend. And welcome, Patrick. Hello. Connor. Really great to be here tonight, folks, and there's a lot I want to say about SkyMaxx Pro, and hopefully by the end of this live stream you will you know, have your own insight and be able to decide whether you want to invest in SkyMaxx Pro version 5. Now, the price of this plugin, if you do not own any previous version, is $39.95. But if you are a previous owner, then you will receive a discount. So I purchased this upgrade for $19.95, I believe was the discounted price. So we are currently situated at Frankfurt Airport in Germany. This is a livery. Of course, this livery does not belong here, but it doesn't really matter because we're just going to be taking a look at SkyMaxx Pro. Now, I tried to make Real Weather Connector work with SkyMaxx Pro. Unfortunately, the minute I change the textures of the clouds, the sim just crashes. And so I decided to leave it out. What we're going to begin doing in this live stream is we're going to be taking a look at the skies, and we're going to be looking at the cloud depiction. We're going to change things around a little bit. We're going to push the plugin to its limit and see how it affects performance. And then I will be also doing similar to what we did with the previous live stream. We're going to be doing a short flight both in a GA and in an airliner to kind of see how things feel while you're actually flying the aircraft. Omari, hello there, my friend, and welcome. And we've got Omar, hello there, Steve, and we've got SS from Dubai. Hello there, my friend, and welcome. So, the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the clouds, the cloud depiction. Now, we're going to take a look up, actually, let's do this. Let me show you my X-Plane settings real quick. So these are, let me stop the, alright, so these are my X-Plane settings. Maximum for world objects, HDR 1 notch down, maximum for texture quality, 4x SSAA, FXAA, and 16 for intratropic. So that's pretty much my settings. Haven't really changed anything. I'm going to go ahead and kill the, let's see. Alright, so let me kill the chatter here so that doesn't bother us. Okay, so let's take a look at SkyMaxx Pro settings. SkyMaxx configure clouds. So I've set the cloud area covered to about the midway point here, 38,705 square kilometers. Puff rotation 0.02. God rays are turned off. We're going to turn them on and see how things look. Cirrus behavior, force cirrus layer is not enabled. And then I've used this, I like this Tropical Paradise original preset. I think the sky colors look phenomenal, really look very, very good. So I like to use it. Enable cloud reflections in water, unfortunately doesn't work in Vulkan, only in OpenGL. So that's one of the things I believe is, to me, is a put-off, really. I mean, this is a brand new version. This is version 5, supposed to work with Vulkan, right? So this is the first kind of thing that bothered me to see. Lens flare I turn off because it is something I just don't like. Personally, it's a matter of personal preference. Cloud shadows is set to 0.02. We're going to crack this up a little bit and see what effect it has. It does affect performance, and you can see the cloud terrain blend softness is set to maximum. Hopefully we can see some clouds, clouds and mountains, and we can see the blend, how it's done, similar to what we've seen in the previous live stream. But these are the SkyMaxx Pro settings. If we go to the cloud settings, so you will notice that there's something new here. By the way, precipitation. Again, it says default. You cannot use. You can only use the built-in because this is Vulkan. It's not compatible with Vulkan. Another thing that kind of, put me off a little bit because, again, this is a brand new version, and I don't really see a major difference between this version and the previous version. So it's kind of, I really don't understand why this is version 5. Up to this point, I don't understand it. Okay, so let's move on and take a look at the different features here. So if we go to select cumulus textures, this is the first thing that you'll see is that you have a new option here called Volumetric. Now, the funny thing is it's in beta. So this is actually one of the things that is supposed to be a brand new feature in version 5, and it's actually beta. And it actually looks terrible. This one looks pretty good. So this is the fast preset. Hopefully it won't crash, but let's put volumetric here and take a look at the scene. By the way, this scene here, I think looks pretty good. In my view, it looks. And by the way, cloud smoothing here, if we go into the clouds, I think it's done quite well. So yeah, I definitely like this scene. The cloud variation is not there, definitely. So these are pretty much all the same kind of textures. But yeah, let's go ahead and select volumetric and say apply. Now the minute we do this, hopefully the sim won't crash. All right. So we're loading the volumetric clouds, and you will see a difference. You'll see a major degradation in performance. Actually, let me bring the performance counter. You see here, 20 FPS. All right. And this is the volumetric clouds. Now, to me, this looks terrible, to be very honest. All right. This does not look good at all. I don't know what you guys think, but you can tell me what you think here. Captain Spitfire, welcome to the stream. Yeah, RWC needed to use Active Sky with it. Yeah, so you can use Active Sky, but apparently... hey, John Fly, how are you there, my friend? Welcome. It looks like Active Sky... real weather connector is still not updated to work properly with this version, it looks like. So it keeps crashing every time I change something. So yeah, so the volumetric clouds, guys, is, in my view, I mean, I understand it's in beta, but then why version 5 if it's in beta? It doesn't make any sense to me. So we're going to go back and change this to, and hopefully, again, this sim won't crash, but I'm going to change this to fast because I find this to be the nicest cloud textures, honestly, in this version. So we're going to keep it there. And also, if we go to select Overcast textures, again, you have the same option, volumetric, but again, it doesn't really look that good. So we're going to probably go to Munich, or no, Kastrup Airport in Denmark. I think the current conditions are overcast, so we'll take a look at overcast conditions and how they look. Now, another thing I don't like, I've never liked in SkyMaxx Pro, is the fact that you have to select, the type of textures you like. But in my view, this is supposed to be translated based on the METAR information. So the meteorological data should dictate the type of clouds that are, injected into the sim without you having to choose any of it. So if it's broken, procedural, then that's what you should see. But we're just gonna overlook this at this point and move on. Yeah, so here, if we look at this scene, I think it looks reasonably good. The soft cloud textures look, I think, pretty okay. The cloud smoothing looks pretty good. Here, as we go through the clouds, you can see that it looks pretty good. So definitely, you will get that immersion as you fly your aircraft, whether you're flying an Airliner or a GAA aircraft. Now, one thing that I do want to show you guys is if we... All right, so now one thing they also promise is that the clouds will cover the entire horizon. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this. We're going to go to Configure Clouds, and we're going to take a note of the FPS here, and we're going to set this to maximum, which is 122,500 square kilometers, and we're going to say Apply Changes. So I don't see anything there. I'm not exactly sure what even has happened, but it looks like there are no clouds whatsoever now. Apply Changes, nothing there. All right, so let's go back to Explain here. It says clear. We're going to refresh the weather. So that's another thing I've noticed. For some reason, you just lose the weather as you change things around in SkyMaxx Pro, and I'm not exactly sure why. All right, so we're back now. We have the weather again, and let's apply. And yeah, so now we're starting to get the weather. So let's see if the clouds now actually cover the entire horizon as promised. And it looks like it kind of does. Not exactly. So if you look here, but this is of course this is an extremely high elevation from from the ground. So if you look beyond this line here, you'll see that there are no clouds far in the distance there. So it does cover a large area, and I think that's how it should be. The description should be in terms of the features, but it should not say that it covers the entire horizon. It should say that it covers, a large distance. And now we lost the clouds again for some reason. So I'm not exactly sure why. But as you keep changing things around in this version, you lose the clouds. You can see now everything's been cleared. So let's see here. So I'll take a few questions. Agree, not sure this product has been heading in the right direction. I think version 3 cloud in this. With volumetric or procedural clouds, I can't use Vulkan because I have overcast textures through my cockpit. Well, hello there, Val, 77 knots, and welcome. Thank you for your thoughts there. maxx-xp, Sundog has a pretty good reputation for resolving issues eventually. Yeah, I mean they already have. No. So you, Leaf, I think you can invoke real weather. But I'm not really actually sure what's going on here. It's kind of strange what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Kastrup Airport in Denmark and see if that's Kastrup, yeah. So let's see if we can get so overcast conditions there. Let's see if we can see different type of weather. But so. Up to this point, folks, I really can't understand why is this version 5. I mean, this would have been, a good upgrade and should have been a free upgrade in my view, based on what I've seen in terms of the features. And I have, by the way, a lot of respect for the developers of SkyMaxx Pro. I think it's a good product, at least when it came out. But I'm not sure about this upgrade. I really am not sure. All right, so this is an overcast condition. We are at Kastrup Airport in Denmark, and let's see here. Let's take a look here at the skies. So that's an overcast condition. Looks reasonably well in my view. What do you guys think? I think it looks okay. but again, and it does cover, you know, the horizon up to this point here. And then, you know, if you're at about, you know, if you're at 37,000 feet, I think you'll be able to see that the clouds do not cover the entire horizon, but they cover 122,500 square kilometers, which is a large area to cover, but definitely not up to the end of the horizon. So I think that is not an accurate description of the product's feature, in my view. All right, nothing amazing. Yeah, let's, you can use, if you go to the Overcast textures, so this one appears to be one that a lot of you used to like, this one, procedural. Let's go down here, and then if you go down, you can see the broken clouds and you can see the light through here. Let's do this. So this, I think, looks pretty good. Honestly, I think this looks pretty good, but again, it is up to you to select it. So then it becomes a matter of personal preference as opposed to real weather. So, I mean, fine, it looks fine. Let's go ahead and change the weather, change the time here, so you can also see the sky colors. Let's go above the clouds there. So the sky colors, I think, look pretty nice. The light scattering, I think, is done reasonably well here. And yeah, sky colors are fine. I never really had any complaints about the sky colors. I'm not sure that you guys see what I see. This used to be a problem in X-Plane. You know, you can see through the clouds. So yeah, that shouldn't be the case. But yeah, it looks like it is the case here. But overall, I think the overcast conditions are represented well. Not too bad, not too great either. Sky colors, I think they look phenomenal. Very, very nice when compared to the default sky colors in X-Plane. Yeah. So this is pretty much what, you know, the overcast conditions look like. All right. So we're going to go back here, and we are going to go to. By the way, one of the things in SkyMaxx Pro is if you go to the cumulus textures. No, that's fine. We are going to go to SkyMaxx Pro Overcast. And we're going to select soft HD. All right, so let's take a look at that. All right, so this actually does not look like an overcast, at least not from above. Maybe from down below it looks foggy at best. Yeah, and of course you can. I'll leave the frame counter there so you guys can see it. I like the lighting, definitely well done in terms of how things look like during nighttime. So this is now nighttime, and I think it looks pretty okay. And this is what things look like from the top. Not too great if you ask me, but acceptable. This is kind of a, yeah, looks all right. Looks all right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to travel to a different location, and perhaps we go to let's see, Ted Stevens. But if you guys want me to go somewhere else, please let me know. Clear weather conditions? No, we don't want definitely clear weather conditions. Right, let me just answer a few of your questions. Still not sure, should I get xenviro or SkyMaxx? Still good. Personally, I prefer xenviro. It's looking so much better in total. I think xenviro, it's a shame we can't push X-Plane to the modern world any faster. Love X-Plane, but even DCS world is ahead in visuals. Chicago, all right. Where do you want to go? You want to go to Chicago O'Hare? Let's see. All right, so yeah, looks like some good weather there. Let's change the time a bit here. 7:26 local start. Let's go. All right. So, so far, folks, I would say SkyMaxx Pro as a product, so leave version 5 out. If you're just going into the market and you're considering buying a weather program that will alter the visuals, enhance the visuals of the weather elements such as the clouds, the rain effects, the shaders, sky colors, things like that. In my humble opinion, I believe xVision is a much better bet than anything else out there. I think it does what it's supposed to do, and it does it quite well. It's a very simple program to use, you know, pretty much, and this is, by the way, it looks like this is the rain here. So it's raining in Chicago O'Hare, and yeah, look, just that's terrible. So if I were to compare this with, you know, what we've seen in the previous stream, you can see the wet airdrome effect, which is phenomenal, really. But I think the raindrops here at least follow the wind direction, so that's good. If we, I think the frames are suffering now. Yeah, we can see the frames are definitely suffering. But if we go all the way up here, there are multiple layers now of clouds, and this looks pretty good. I mean, this looks like some towering clouds there. But definitely the FPS, wow, look at the FPS. Just really, really, performance has really now suffered with the slider being at 122,000 square kilometers for the coverage. So again, performance issues all over the place once you set, you know, the sliders to the max. Try out KMIR. All right, we'll do that as well. Just hold your thought on that, and once we're done here, we'll definitely do that. Sir, you're doing an awesome job for the sim community. I'm from Chicago. Hello there, my friend, and welcome. Thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate it. All right, so let's bring the slider back to the midpoint, so at least it is flyable. Configure clouds. We're going to set this about down right there. All right, and we're going to say apply changes. And of course, we're going to note that the frames has gone up for sure. So we have more frames now. Performance is reasonable at the midpoint. And what I've noticed is even with my previous machine, when I set this at the midpoint, you know, I get better frames. At least it's flyable. So yeah. So what we're going to do is we are going to change the aircraft simply because we want something we can just simply put up in the air. So let's go with the IXCG 737, and we'll see what happens with the IXCG 737. They're working on X-Plane 12. They said they're not giving out info. That is correct. So according to Laminar Research, they are working on a next generation weather for X-Plane. Now we can see that, again, with the IXCG, look at the frames has suffered again. So, but nonetheless, we're going to keep it, and we're going to, the reason I want to keep this is I want to see what happens with the frame rates versus the smoothness, similar to what we did in our previous stream. So we are going to go to, let's see here if I can bring this down, right here. Okay. So pre-flight, ready to go, apply.
On runway 28.
All right. And we're going to set our flaps. Flaps 5, auto throttle, flight director is turned on, 10,000 feet is fine. Let's turn on the landing lights, strobes, and all the other lights. And we're going to turn on. There we go. All right. So we're all ready to go now. We are at Chicago O'Hare. And this is what things look like from the outside. All right, we are going to change the time just a notch here. All right, so this is what things look like. And we're going to take off and see how things look like. So parking brake is released. And we're going to give it full power. And by the way, you can notice that we're not getting the rain effect on the windshield here with the 737 here. Now we're seeing the raindrops. Alright, gears going up. And things look pretty okay. Right, let's switch to external. Well, I tell you, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty okay to me. And we're just going to keep climbing. We're going to take a note of the frames. I think it's pretty smooth. The changes as you go through the layers is kind of sudden. Alright, we're going to change the time here just a notch. Alright. That's quite a climb there. Alright, so you can see the sky colors are nice. You can see the clouds are not so nice here in the distance. Perhaps maybe if we're flying VFR, things would look slightly better. But this, to me, looks pretty mediocre. Even you can see as we go through the clouds, the sudden changes in. You can see how the colors are changing there. Ooh. Let's bring the aircraft down here a bit. We can see the dynamic lighting effect here in front of the aircraft. So that's okay. And if we switch to the external view, again you can see the lighting. See it better here. So that actually looks pretty good. Just look at that. That looks pretty good. There you can see again the effect of the lights on the clouds here. So I think it does look okay. Again, not great, but okay in my opinion. Ooh, what's that? You guys see that? That is very strange. Look at I'm really not sure what this is, but something's not right for sure. But overall, if we look at, the dynamic lights are fine. If we look at the scene here, as the aircraft goes through the clouds, I think it looks okay. I'm not sure what this is, though. Looks very strange. Let's see if we can... Oh, look at that. That must be a bug in, I don't know, either SkyMaxx or an X-plane. I'm not sure. It's gone now. Yeah, I really am not sure what it is, but it's back. I think it comes in certain angles, and then it goes away. Very, very strange. Yeah, well, you guys can see for yourselves now. I'm not really sure what this is. All right, so I think, ooh, look at that. That is very strange, isn't it? Alright, so another one of you guys has suggested another airport. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. This is a complete waste of money. I mean, I wouldn't be this harsh, but yeah. All right. So so here, let's go to was it KMRY? Is that what you guys EDDN? All right. Let's we're going to select perhaps the, let's see, what do I have here? You know what? We'll take the Cessna and we'll go to Echo Delta Delta November. Start. All right, let's go there. I wonder if you're going to give this product your platinum seal of approval. Well, Leaf, I will say this. SkyMaxx Pro is a product that I have used for a very long time, and it was a very good product at the time of its release. It has definitely revamped the experience in X-Plane. That said, the current version is not at par with what we expect in the sim community. And if you look at the feature list listed to describe the features in SkyMaxx Pro, I don't think that the product that we're seeing resembles those features, or at least not accurate. It's not an accurate representation of what it promises to deliver. For one, I expected the clouds to be much better. The cloud textures are pretty much the same from the previous version. The only addition we see is the beta volumetric clouds, and it's beta. So essentially it's not ready. It's not part of the release. It's a beta release. The clouds still do not cover the entire horizon as described in the product, again on the product website. So for these reasons, I cannot actually award this version of SkyMaxx Pro any seal of approval. I cannot really approve of the product from my perspective for you guys to actually go and invest in. Now, this is true for somebody who has SkyMaxx Pro and is looking to upgrade. So I would not recommend the upgrade. Now, if you do not own anything, then I don't recommend that you buy a SkyMaxx Pro, because there is a product that that does what it does a lot better, which is X-Vision. Now, if you're a little bit brave and you want to go for something and you want to try your luck with performance, there is xenviro, if that's what you choose to do. But at this point, I cannot really recommend this product for any of you guys, and I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it's an issue with, I don't know if it's a driver issue, but I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to quit X-Plane and come back again. So just give me a second, because I think this is going to be annoying. So I'll be right back. All right, folks, I am back, and it looks like that issue is gone for now. Yeah, so it looks like we are at Echo Delta Delta November. We're going to do a test now in this General Aviation Cessna 172 with a Reality Expansion Pack. And things actually look pretty good with the soft clouds preset here. So yeah, I think this is what things look like. You can see the towering clouds there. It would look a lot better, by the way, with a real weather connector. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Keeps crashing X-plane. So we are gonna just fly with without it. And let me answer a few of your questions here. Leaf. By the way, Leaf, thank you very much for your donation. I really appreciate it. I just saw it on the... I'm not sure why I'm not getting them here in the stream. I'm not seeing them in the chat. But I did see it on the Streamlabs when I disconnected X-plane. So let me see here. It says, would you also say that xenviro supersedes xVision plus Active Sky and Ultra Weather XP on a mid to high end system for XP Vulcan? Well, let me say this. It's very difficult to answer this question because we're not comparing apples to apples here. So I'm not sure what's going on, but saying the bit rate is 0 for audio. So am I audible, guys? Are you able to hear me okay? I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not, but if you can, please just let me know that yes, you can hear me. All right, perfect. I'm just getting 5 out of 5. Perfect, perfect. All right, so so we are not comparing apples to apples when we say xVision, SkyMaxx Pro versus xenviro. Okay, that's not a fair comparison. Simply because xenviro is a complete environment engine, whereas SkyMaxx Pro and xVision are just kind of a scenery enhancement, if you will, or weather enhancement tools. They don't generate weather in any way. They don't represent anything in accordance with real world meteorological data. So they're very different. So whatever, you know, for example, if Active Sky pops 2 clouds, then only the textures of those clouds will be changed with SkyMaxx Pro or xVision. But the actual look and feel of that cloud, how that cloud a cirrus cloud, or that doesn't change. I mean, it's not capable of doing that. So from that perspective, I wouldn't compare them. But I would say this: in order to have an experience similar to xenviro, I would put the price of xenviro of $69, and then I would say I need xVision, and I need SkyMaxx Pro, beg your pardon, I need xVision and Active Sky or FS Global Real Weather or something like that for weather injection, or you could just simply use the built-in weather in X-plane, and you can then look at the at the prices of these combined products. So you would bring all the products that would do what xenviro does, and then it would be a fair comparison. That would be something I would personally do if I were to give you my completely honest opinion. So what we're going to do now, hey there, Dougal, welcome. We've got Rami Al-Dhafiri. Hello there, my friend, and welcome to the stream. So what we're going to do, we're going to start the aircraft now, and let me see here. All right, so this is the REP aircraft, so we got to be careful with it. We're going to turn on the battery, and alternator beacon lights are on, nav lights are on, and we're going to crack the put the mixture on full rich. We're going to crack the throttle and start the fuel pump, and we're going to observe the fuel flow here. We're good. and we can now put the mixture back, and we can start the aircraft. There we go. Oh, we forgot to set the parking. All right, so we have a good start. We can turn on our avionics. Strobe lights, landing lights. All's looking good. And by the way, the shake that you're seeing, the vibration, is XP Realistic version 2. And we are good to go. So let's take a look now at the experience flying a general aviation aircraft with SkyMaxx Pro. Parking brake is released. And let's go. All right, it says high RPM. Yeah, definitely the engines are cold, but you know what? We're in a sim, so we're going to get away with it this time. Strong wind there. And we're going to rotate at about 60 knots. 60 and rotate. All right. So the experience flying a GA aircraft with SkyMaxx Pro, I think, is pretty good. As long as you are not on top of the clouds, I think it looks reasonably well. A lot better than the IFR experience in my view. I mean, look at that. That looks pretty good, guys. I mean, to be honest, it does look good. Right, external view. Again, we can see the sky colors. We can see the coloration of the clouds. Not a bad scene, if you ask me. Again, you can see the far in the distance, the light scattering, and the humidity in the air, or fog, whatever you want to call that. That is also well represented. You don't get the airdrome surface refraction with SkyMaxx Pro, but overall, the scene is not a bad scene. I think it looks pretty good. So all in all, I think this version of SkyMaxx Pro does not really offer anything additional to what we've seen in previous versions. So in my view, this is version 4.9, 4.91, whatever you call it, but it does not really offer anything over the previous version of SkyMaxx Pro. And yeah, I mean, I don't really understand why you would have to pay additional. I think this should have been a free upgrade for the community, for those who've invested in all the previous versions. So from version 2, 3, 4, we had to pay the upgrade price, and yet again, version 5 comes, and we have to pay the upgrade price again, which I don't see why. Now, if any of you guys, of course, would like to contest that, I'm more than happy to hear out your thoughts and your comments, but that's just my view. Now, one thing I do want to show you is if you go to configure clouds and we turn on the God rays and say apply. So this is what things look like when we have God rays enabled. I don't know if it adds anything to the scene. You guys let me know if you think this is, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. I think this looks pretty good, guys. I mean, the colors, I think this looks nice. So again, VFR experience in SkyMaxx Pro is not bad at all. IFR experience, no, doesn't do it for me at all. We can change the time of day here again, and I think it looks it's pretty good. Yeah. There again, this is a external view as we pan around. You can see now how things look like. By the way, these are our frames, so the frames are good with these settings. SkyMaxx Pro does. Let's throw version 5 out, get their money. I think it looks pretty good, considering, you know, I've always enjoyed SkyMaxx Pro, even in previous versions, VFR, flying VFR, it was pretty good, but definitely not for IFR. And as a final thought on this, I think this should have been a free upgrade, folks, in all honesty. So I don't see it offering anything beyond maybe the performance improvements for Vulkan. I don't really see anything else in this version in terms of, you know, features. So yeah. So let me just make sure that we haven't forgotten anything here. Force weather. Yeah, I think we've done everything here. So you still can't configure your precipitation. You still, you know, the clouds still don't cover the entire sky. Performance-wise, it's pretty much the same as previous versions. As soon as you put that slider on max, you know, your machine just really suffers. But for VFR, I think it looks pretty good with this cloud preset. God rays enabled. Here's, by the way, nighttime. There we can take a look at this now. And I think, again, this is a reasonably well looking scene. It's a good looking scene. Quite immersive, if you ask me. So not bad. But this is what we used to see in the previous versions of SkyMaxx Pro. So definitely nothing more there in terms of the features or the aesthetics of the visuals. So in terms of the quality, it's pretty much what we used to see in previous versions. Right, let me answer any of your questions, folks. We've got Airbus Aviator. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Good to have you here. And I hope that you have enjoyed X-Vision. I believe you were one of the winners in the previous giveaway, so I hope that you're enjoying the product, or maybe you purchased something else, I don't know, but I definitely hope that you're enjoying it. Seems to me that more and more developers are taking us for a ride. Well, Dougal, I would probably have to kind of agree with you there, because I've seen a lot of these upgrades coming, or, you know, like there was one aircraft, I can't recall which one it was, and there was a lot of hype that, you know, version 2 was built from the ground up and things like that. And I actually went and got the aircraft, and turns out this is the same thing. They just fixed a few bugs and called it version 2. So I don't really get it. Sometimes by the way, I have a lot of respect for the developers community. I mean, don't get me wrong. And when there is a good product out there, believe me, I will bring it here on the channel, and I will show you all the good features, and I will honestly tell you what I think of that product. But then I'm seeing, you know, other products that come out that are just not worth the money, And you know, you know, as someone who's been really creating content for 5 years now in this community, I believe it is my duty and responsibility to make the community aware of these products and to give you my honest opinion. Now, you don't have to agree with me. You could say, Q8, no, you're completely wrong, you're completely off there. But I tried as much as possible to remain unbiased and provide you with my honest opinion on these products, so that you know where to invest your money. And as a final thought, guys, on SkyMaxx Pro, I don't think this is one of the products that you should invest your money in at this point. I think I would probably wait, and I would get something like X-Vision. It's a much cheaper product. So I would definitely get something like that if you don't want to get even what do you call it, X-Vision, not X-Vision, Active Sky or FS Global Real Weather. I think a very good bargain today is to use X-Plane built-in weather with X-Vision. I think this is probably the best value for money, in my view, today. Out of all the weather programs available out there, whether it's WeatherXP, whether it's xenviro, if you are looking for something immersive, something that is reasonably appealing to the eye, and does not really hurt your wallet too much, then I believe that the best combination today is X-Vision version 2 with the built-in X-Plane weather. You don't need really, you know, all the unless you're flying, of course, on VATS, and that's a different story. But for the casual simmer, X-Vision, X-Plane built-in weather, you're good to go. All right, I'll answer some of your questions, guys. If you have any questions, I'd like to answer them for you, and then we're going to call it a day. X-Plane 11 has microtransactions like most games. Well, I'm not sure, John, that I understand what you're saying, but it does not have microtransactions. I'm not really sure what you mean. Sadly, I bought it. X-Vision version 2, free cloud art, and active sky am good. Yep, absolutely. I mean, pay to win content. So X-Plane? I don't think that X-Plane has that, no. Airbus Aviator, have you done a review on the latest Ultra Weather XP by any chance compared to previous versions? It's great. Yeah, so I haven't really gotten to it yet. I still need to download it and play with it. But again, what the thing, I'll do it. I will definitely put it on my schedule to do it. There are a few things I want to do for you guys before I get to Ultra Weather XP, though. It's a good product, and it's so if I compare it to X-Vision, I think they're probably at par, but maybe Ultra Weather XP has a lot more textures and you know, really beautiful sky colors. The developer of Ultra Weather XP is a very talented young man, and definitely very artistic as well, very creative guy. So yeah, we'll probably feature it here on the channel at some point. I'll probably not do it as a live stream, but as a video. But yeah, it's not a bad product. And by the way, you would compare it to X-Vision and SkyMaxx Pro, but not xenviro, or because it doesn't really generate weather or any environment elements. It's just scenery enhancement. Can anyone enjoy X-Plane 11 without add-ons, without paying anything? Well, absolutely, yes. So if you get X-Plane, you can get Ortho4XP or Fork Boys ortho photos for real-world, you know, imagery. And there is a ton of free content in the community, in the X-Plane community, that you can just download and enjoy. Almost every airport there's an available free version of every airport. You've got the Zevo and a multitude of other general aviation aircraft that you can fly in X-Plane absolutely free. X-Plane ships with a number of aircraft as well that you can very much enjoy without really having to pay anything other than the price of the sim. It's got its own weather, but of course the minute you want to start having a better experience, that's when you're going to have to start, you know, considering other add-ons such as, you know, aircraft or scenery enhancement. But I think it is out of the box. It's a very enjoyable flight simulator, and definitely you don't have to pay anything other than the price of the sim to enjoy it. Is SkyMaxx Pro 5 released yet? Can't find it. Yes, it is released. In fact, version 5.05 has been released, so 5 updates so far since its release. I will stay with Ultra Weather XP and Active Sky XP for now. Not a bad choice, my friend. Haven't had any of the issues we've seen on the stream, but haven't flown that much with it yet. Well, other than those pixelated things, I don't think we've had any issues specifically, but with real weather connector, it just crashes every time I change the textures, so I decided not to include it in this stream. Tad heavy on FPS, it's good looking. Yeah, I think in terms of the FPS, I think it's at par with any other weather program. The minute you put the sliders, you know, at the max, you start suffering. But overall, guys, I think, for example, if we go here, I think this looks pretty good. I'll move the FPS here. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I'm not sure about the horizon out there, that white color, but if I look at here at this scene, for example, I think it looks pretty good, in all honesty. So VFR looks pretty good, for sure. Okay, what's your opinion about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? I will reserve that comment. It's a good simulator, I will tell you that. It's a good simulator, but it's kind of, you know, it's not relevant to, you know, the purpose of this stream, but I do thank you, John, for your question. I think it's a good simulator. I think it is a definitely a fun simulator if you like to fly with friends, like in a kind of multi-gaming environment. I think it's quite enjoyable. The visuals are absolutely stunning in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but I'm yet to find you know, a highly immersive aircraft to fly in that sim. The fly-by-wire project for the Airbus is a good project, so I'm glad to see its progress, but the sim still needs a lot of work. So, well, hello, is it Niels? Thank you very much for becoming a part of the VVIP membership here at the Q8Pilot channel. Really appreciate your support, my friend. Thank you very much. Is there a link for SkyMaxx Pro 5? Which weather add-on can you recommend? I'm not expert on it. So again, the SkyMaxx Pro version 5 is available on the x-aviation web store, x-aviation.com. That's where you can find it. And as far as my recommendations in terms of weather today, I would highly recommend that you stick with either X-Vision or Ultra Weather XP, or like Cloud Art, you know, some of those free plugins, and just use the internal weather engine in X-Plane. That would be my recommendation at this point. If you want something, you know, a notch higher, you could go for Active Sky XP or FS Global Real Weather for you know, more accurate meteorological data and more layers in terms of the weather layers. That is definitely an option there, but for the price of SkyMaxx Pro, I think it's quite expensive for what it does today, compared to, for example, X-Vision or Ultra Weather XP. So I think those would be my recommendations. You are fueling in Munich. Yep, that's the area we're flying around right now. I've enjoyed your grades content as a freebie for long enough already. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, my friend. Really appreciate your support and becoming a member of the channel. I have looked at xenviro, but I want the clouds to have more layers, if you understand me. Yep. So if you want more layers, definitely I would recommend that you go with X-Vision and Active Sky or FS Global Real Weather for weather generation, and you're good to go. Well, folks, this is pretty much what I wanted to share with you in this live stream. I hope that this was an insightful and informative live review of SkyMaxx Pro version 5. If you have any questions, please do post them in the comments section below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.